Receiving target's coordinates. Target acquired. Target is sufficiently distracted. Distance 1008 decacubits. No wind. Wait, what was that? Something's not right here. I'm too far out to take a shot. I'm stuck in the open. No place to hide. This wasn't supposed to happen. This isn't how it was supposed to go. I've been set up.
So, the legendary RC lives.
Hello and welcome to another Wackimus HD Reviews. This time we're putting the Perfect Effect PE-DX-01 RC pink version in the spotlight. Perfect Effect, the guys that brought us such molds as the Shadow Warrior molds, Ninja, Kingbat, Laser and Buzzer, and the Scouting Force X. Now bring us their rendition of an RC, and what an RC it is. Now we all know the original RC was supposed to be a pink convertible, however you can see the designers took a very different approach to this RC's alt mode, making her a very Tron-esque motorcycle. It seems to amalgamate elements from the alt modes of Revenge of the Fallen RC, G1, and even the Prime series that clearly suits this petite warrior. Perfect Effect included some great detailing, such as the engine detailing, some brake calipers that you can see around the wheels, as well as a little tiny molded seat. RC looks terrific in her bike mode and stands out as a very unique design beside other motorcycle transformers. But it's interesting to note, this is the weakest part I find of her whole transformation. So let's check out the other stuff that she has to offer. RC's transformation at first is very scary, with a lot of stiff points in her legs and heels to take into consideration. Don't use too much force because they are fragile, but the first few times of transformation they are very stiff and will loosen up the more you transform her. During transformation, you'll probably also notice that RC has a lot of die-cast metal in her lower legs, as well as a pretty sweet automorph gimmick located in her ears. Now, a lot of people will probably have to wrap their head around the fact that RC is very much a puzzle former, much akin to fellow Season 3 character Ultra Magnus or City Commander from the Fans Project line, who she will look terrific beside on your shelf. In robot mode, it's clear to see Perfect Effect chose to model their Motobot here on one of my favorite versions of RC ever, clearly taking many design cues from IDW's Spotlight RC and ongoing series. And although this figure is on the scale of many deluxes, I would say she clearly retains very small proportions, which is terrific because Perfect Effect has come to be known for doing stuff on very small scale, and they are very good at it. She also comes with some IDW-inspired weaponry, like a set of energy-bladed swords, as well as a couple pistols, which she can both dual-wield like a lady. She looks very menacing and scary, which again draws a great reference to the IDW ongoing and Spotlight RC, which you won't see me complaining about. And the weapons can store tidily on her back. And if that wasn't insane enough, she comes with a sniper rifle. Some assembly may be required. Just make sure you line up some of the pieces properly, and they just plug in. Nothing too complicated about this. I consider the sniper rifle kind of a bonus, something that Perfect Effect really didn't have to add in here, but they did, and I really respect them for that. Okay, seriously, when this thing is all put together, it really reminds me of something you'd see out of Halo. And seriously, this thing is massive! It's about the same size as her. So many probably wouldn't be surprised then if this thing was really clumsy, but that's not the case. Perfect Effect really took their time to engineer this properly so that you can dual wield it with both hands and get some really decent sniper poses out of it. And if this really isn't your thing, it can break down and store really nicely on her body. So let's talk about some articulation, and for the sake of speed of this review, I'm just going to mention the main points of articulation that she has. So first up, she has a ball joint shoulder here, which can move inwards, outwards, and all that fun stuff. She has a bicep swivel, so she can do full 360 on her arms. She has a hinged elbow, which gives her almost 90 degrees of range there, so that's pretty good. As well as you can see her wrist here has a full 360 swivel, and it can tip down like that so that she can grab the rifle that you seen earlier, so that's a really nice feature. Also looks really nice with swords and holding them down by her side, so I really like that one. She also has a waist joint here, a ab crunch, which is nice to see. You don't get that very often. On her legs, she has kind of a hinged, I don't know what type of joint you call that. It's kind of like a Revoltech joint, but she's got full range inwards, outwards, and really works. She has a knee joint, which is almost double hinged as well, so that's really nice. As well as her feet here can move forwards and back, and as you can see, the heel spurs are independent of each other. She also has kind of some tipping of her toes, upwards, downwards. She can do ballet poses, you know, as well as she has a little bit of tilt in there, just on the toe, so that helps out with some stability issues as well. Up here on her head, she has a, I think it's a ball jointed head, but it's limited at the back for movement. It doesn't go up very much, so, but she can go sideways, and she can get a little bit of downwards motion as well. So that is pretty much it for articulation, minus some of the back kibble here, as you can see, which moves around, but I'm not going to get into that. So, but she is a very highly posable figure when she doesn't fall down. Ta-da!
So what can I say about the PE-DX-01 RC from Perfect Effect? Well, it's fantastic, and a really great version of RC in my opinion. One I'm proud to display along the likes of my fans project City Commander, Protector, and Springer, aka Defender. And although this is still not the same quality as those figures by no means, RC holds her own. Not to mention she looks amazing besides figures such as the Generations Blur mold, the RTS Wreckgar, and Cup with the iGear Saigar head if you were lucky enough to pick it up. And if you're like me, this is really going to suit your Generations line of Season 3 characters, because there's so many IDW throwbacks in that line, and she sits right perfect with them. Not to mention she's the perfect 84 character for the Classics generation, with a great style and modernization that suits that line. I highly recommend this. Anyways, this has been Wackimus Prime, guys, saying, I hope this review has been helpful and answered your questions about the Mistress of Fatality, that pink assassin. But now I think RC wants to go, for she's out for blood.
My name is Bludgeon, the master of Metallicato. You have something I need, Autobot. Something that doesn't belong to you. I see you're very proficient with the blade as much as you are a rifle. And here I thought most assassins were only sniveling cowards that hide behind a rifle and strike from a distance. It's true though what they say, isn't it? There's something much more personal in close combat. It's a different kind of warrior. One with honor and cunning skill. There's always one who's more skilled than the other, isn't there? It's the rule of the game, really. One stands, one falls. Too bad for you this time, Autobot. To be honest, I expected more.